Goals can be one of the most dangerous things that you can use for your business, for your life, for your relationships. And yet we are all pressured so much to be able to actually have them. So, pardon the echo. I'm in my kitchen right now because I'm writing my book and I write my book here as opposed to my office. So, there's a little bit of echo. But let me talk to you a little bit about goals. And I'd say this because I'm literally writing the chapter about it right now. I have some clients of mine and they don't want to set goals. They get very, very adamant about not wanting to have a goal. They find it demotivating. They're doers, they don't need it. Just head down, do the work, and away they go. In many cases, the people who have that kind of reaction to goal setting often grew up in basically, let's call it traumatic experiences and situations, either extreme poverty, or there was abuse, or there was chaos. And I find that for people who grew up in those kind of situations, having goals actually doesn't work. So I've been thinking, why do we have to all set goals the same way? We don't run our businesses the same way. We shouldn't. We don't run our lives the same way. We shouldn't. Again, many of us live the lives we think we're supposed to live. But let's look at goal setting. I came up with three different ways that you can actually set goals for yourself. The first one is the traditional way. You set a big, hairy goal, and maybe you have a couple of micro goals that you set along the path. Maybe a quarterly goal, maybe a monthly one. These are usually monetary, right? So they're either how many sales you've had or how much money you've made. And that's the traditional way of looking at it. And then, of course, you back it up to, what are all the things you have to do that kind of a thing. But the primary goal here is to identify a number or a setting, something you want to shoot for. And that's what you use. And you continuously look at it. And that is what motivates you. So that is the traditional way of goal setting. But in my recent mastermind conversations with the folks who went to my one from this year, we came up with two other ways of staying motivated. So the second way you can stay motivated to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve is, yeah, sure, you can have sort of a generalized goal, but what motivates you and what you measure yourself by are the actions that you take on a consistent basis. So for me, I do these once a week and I send it through email and then I blast it all over my social media. That is something I do consistently. I do workshops, I do speaking gigs, I try to get a book out every 2 to 3 years. So these are the things that if I continue to do them consistently, will naturally allow me to achieve my goal. So I have a goal, but sometimes looking at that goal is really scary. And I don't really want to have that as my focus. So if that's for you, sure, you can set one, put it in a closet and close the door, and then say, okay, if that's generally where I want to go, what do I have to do? What are the actions day after day that I can control, that I can do, that if I stay consistent with those will naturally allow me to achieve my goal? That is an action-based way of motivating yourself to get your work done. And again, at all cases, all three of these examples, you're achieving your goal. It's a matter of what are you looking at and what motivates you. So we have the traditional, set the goal, look at it, maybe have some smaller goals quarterly or monthly, but essentially it's usually a number, it's usually monetarily related, and that's how you do it. Option two is the tasks. Now we get to option three, which is a little bit different. This one is looking backwards. And you might say, how is goal setting, which is a forward thing, used backwards? The way this works, and this is often for my post-traumatic clients, this is what really helps them to measure progress. They say, here I am right now. And how much progress have I made over whatever time period? Most often it's a month, but it can be over the year, over a quarter, or whatever. And what they're doing is they're looking at the degrees to which they have made improvements or progress in the key metrics that they're measuring. So again, it can be monetary, it can be the number of people that you're hiring, it could be the number of people that you're firing, it could be a whole bunch of different things. But the idea is it's a present day sort of number or present day metric. And you're like, over this time period, how much have I improved? And that's what motivates them. If it's a little improvement, they're like, gotta turn on the gas and then head down and away they go. If it's a big improvement, they can give themselves a pat on the back and then they keep on going because they want to continue to have those results, because it's the progress, it's the incremental improvement that they've made that ultimately drives them to do more. So for people that are like super doers, lots of confidence, right? They have no problem with following after what they say they're going to do and all those kinds of things. Not all of us have those traits. people are typically the ones who would use option three, right? So they just know that if they know what to do, then they'll do it. But what motivates them and says kicks their ass or not is, have they made what they believe to be the appropriate amount of incremental progress over the milestone periods. Okay, so again, over there could be a week, could be a day, could be a year, could be 10 years. So those are three, and I'm probably there's tons more ways of using different goal setting strategies to motivate you to continue to move forward. The worst thing you can do is stay exactly where you are. So my new book coming out this fall, it's called The Dragon and the Goat. And it's about the two warring factions within us. The dragon, which is our amygdala, which is part of our limbic system. That's where our comfort zone is. It's where our comparing ourselves to others resides. It's fight, flight, freeze, right? All those kinds of things where they hold us back. It's self-sabotage, right? And it's the part of us that tries to keep us quote unquote safe. And really what it does, it keeps us in disappointment and regret in more cases than not. The GOAT, which stands for greatest of all time, is the piece of us that is truly our own unique, amazing person. And how do you actually bring more of that forward? If you want to live a more GOAT life, greatest of all time, your greatest of all time life, you have to figure out what motivates you. And the interesting thing about motivation is it comes after you start taking action. A lot of people say, well, I need to be motivated before I do something. The answer is no, you have to do something to become motivated. And so there's three strategies you can use to do that. Hairy, scary goals or micro goals that go along with it. You can use actions. What are the things that if I do them consistently will lead me to success? Or you can do the milestone progress analysis where I am here today and you look back in time and you say over the time period, how much progress have I made? So hopefully one of those will work, but you have to implement one of those strategies before you're going to feel super motivated. So if you're feeling kind of down, if you're worried about the markets, you're worried about the economy, first of all, stop watching the news. Second of all, pick one of the three strategies and start implementing them so that you can feel that motivation, that confidence, and that competence and start living the life you deserve on your terms.